India, from Curzon to Nehru and after. It is written by journalist Durga Das. Durga Das was a very prominent journalist. His journalistic career spanned almost 50 years. Throughout the 1920s, 30s and 40s, Durga Das covered the independence movement minutely, accurately and impartially. This book was there in the British Central Library in Cubbon Park. I remember referring to this book over and over and over again. I don't have the book at home, but way back when I was young and I was doing my masters, I remember reading the book of Durga Das several times for references. Apart from my favorite book, Freedom at Midnight, this was my best reference book and it is one of the most accurate books ever written. So whatever I want to tell you today is from this book written by Durga Das, which probably is still available in the British Central Library. I don't know. So the year was 1946 and it was already announced that India would become independent on August 15th, 1947. Louis Francis Albert Victor Nicholas Mountbatten came to India as its last viceroy. His job was to see to it that the transfer of power was smooth, from British to India, and that partition should be as painless and as peaceful as possible. In April 1946, it was decided that there would be an interim government. The interim government would facilitate the smooth transfer of power from the British government to the independent Indian government. It was a foregone conclusion that whoever is the deputy of Mountbatten in the interim government would obviously become the chief or the prime minister as soon as Mountbatten left. So that position, the number 2, the deputy to Mountbatten, was a highly coveted position. Obviously, as soon as Mountbatten left, the number 2 would become the number 1 and would become independent India's first prime minister. So, the Indian National Congress sent out letters to all the 15 provinces. India was divided into 15 provinces at that time. Every province had a PCC, a Provincial Congress Committee or a Pradesh Congress Committee as we call it today. So the letter was simple. We are going to become independent very soon. Suggest one name for the first Prime Minister of India from your province. The CWC, the Congress Working Committee, met in April 1946. There were 15 envelopes in front of them. All the 15 were opened and every province had written the name of one person whom that province would like to see as the future Prime Minister. 12 of the 15 provinces had voted for Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Envelope after envelope after envelope after envelope was opened and only one name kept coming out of the envelopes. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Chiranjeevi Vallabhbhai Patel, Atmiya Vallabhbhai Patel, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. 12 provinces had voted for Sardar, 2 had voted for Acharya Kripalani and 1 province had voted for Pattabhi Sitaramaiah and 0 provinces had voted for Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. So there was Gandhiji sitting center with Sardar to one side and Nehru to the other side and Kripalani in front of him, and Gandhiji signaled to Kripalani and Acharya Kripalani immediately said, "Oh Bapu, oh Mahatma, none of the provinces have voted for Nehru, but we know your wishes. We all know that in your heart you want Nehru to be the first Prime Minister of India. I respect you, Bapu. I love you very much and therefore, Natamastak to Mahatma, I hereby transfer my 2 votes to Pandit Nehru and I propose his name for the future Prime Minister. That done, Kripalani looked at Patel. Patel looked at Gandhi. Gandhi was sitting stoically silent. Nehru was sitting stoically silent. For a moment, Patel thought Nehru would say, no, I respect the people's wishes. Nehru never said, no, I respect the people's wishes. Nehru was sitting there, waiting for Patel to say, okay, Bapu, I also withdraw. And that is exactly what Patel said. He said, okay, Bapu, just like Acharya Kripalani, I also withdraw. I pass on my 12 votes to Nehru. So that prime ministership that Nehru got was actually something that Patel handed over to Nehru on a platinum platter. So, but even then, Nehru was not, secure and happy and safe and pleased. In November 1946, the Meerut session of Congress took place. Partition was already going on. Rampant, ferocious Hindu-Muslim riots were there all over. And there, while speaking at the Meerut Congress session, Sardar clearly said, Ahimsa theek hai, non-violence is good and non-violence is very good. But if you have to protect yourself, then pick up this sword. If you have to save your own lives, pick up this sword. There is nothing wrong. You don't have to be non-violent always. Try to be non-violent as far as possible. But if it really is a matter of life and death, pick up the sword. Very next month, in December 1946, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel got a letter from Nehru. Chiranjeevi Vallabhbhai, I am hearing very wrong things about you. You are endorsing himsa. You are endorsing violence. You are telling the people to pick up the sword. Oh, Chiranjeevi Vallabhbhai, this is wrong. Please tell the people to always remember ahimsa. Why are you giving such explosive speeches? Please rein in yourself. This is not what I expected of you. Sardar sat down and replied to Gandhiji. His best friend Mishra was sitting next to him. His best friend D.P. Mishra was sitting next to him, and Sardar Patel actually replied to Gandhiji, and that letter is still there on record. Sardar Patel said, Oh, Bapu, I know who is sitting there in Nokhalli and poisoning your ears against me. Please don't keep listening to Nehru and please don't keep listening to Mridula Sarabhai. Okay? I never said pick up the sword. I said if it is a matter of life and death, pick up the sword. So I know who is poisoning your ears. The situation on the ground is entirely different. I said what I had to say. So I know Nehru is sitting right there next to you, poisoning your ears against me, but please use your own judgment. It is one of the rare instances when Sardar actually wrote such a letter to Nehru. In fact, journalist Durga Das himself questioned Gandhiji on this. He said, Bapu, nobody wants to see Nehru as PM. 12 provinces have voted for Patel. Rajendra Prasad is vouching for Patel. Why are you insisting on Jawaharlal, Jawaharlal, Jawaharlal? And I quote, it's actually written in the book, and I quote, Gandhiji's reply was, Jawahar speaks better English. Yes, pick up the book. That's what Gandhiji said. Jawahar speaks better English. So that is why he was chosen as Prime Minister. Just remember the Mahabharata. Just as Bhishma, Commander-in-Chief Devavrata Bhishma, was leaving, Vidura stops him and asks him. Vidura says, You gave in to your father's wishes, sacrificed your crown, sacrificed your throne, sacrificed everything because your father asked you to. And look where that sacrifice has brought us. That sacrifice has brought us to Kurukshetra, where an 18 Akshohini Sainya is waiting to be killed. Somewhere, if Sardar Patel is really alive, somebody should ask Sardar this question. You gave in to Bapu and you sacrificed the throne and the crown that had been given to you. Oh Sardar, tell us, where has that sacrifice brought us? To which ditch has that sacrifice taken us? And was it all worth it? Wish we could ask that to Sardar. But unfortunately we can't. And the question remains, of course he was selfless in broad-mindedness. He was selfless and broad-minded and very ethical and devoted to Gandhiji. But where did that obedience and devotion leave the nation? Bye-bye. And sorry for exceeding the 10-minute limit. Okay? Bye-bye.